Hello, it's the Burnaby Mover team again, and in this video, we are going to show what is important when moving during this current pandemic. Okay, let's get started. The novel coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted the daily routines of everyday life, both at home and abroad. While social distancing may seem like the best course of action, it is not always possible to move. What is the best way to move during a pandemic? And, more importantly, are moving services still available? In an effort to make the process as stress-free as possible, we will address some of the most pressing questions regarding moving during the pandemic. We will also share some tips from the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) about how to protect yourself and others during your relocation. What is COVID-19? The World Health Organization states that COVID-19, the latest coronavirus discovered, is the infectious disease. This new virus and this disease were not known before the December 2019 outbreak in Wuhan, China. COVID-19, although not the first coronavirus, is a new strain within an existing coronavirus group that can be transmitted between humans and animals. It is highly contagious, and spreads easily from person to person via droplets from the nose and mouth. This is why social distancing is so important. At the time of publication, more than 33,400,000 COVID-19 cases had been reported in the United States. This includes more than 594,000 deaths. What is social distancing? Social distancing, also known as physical distancing, is one way to protect yourself from the spread of COVID-19. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, social distancing must include: keep 6 feet from any other people, except those you share a home with. Avoid gathering in groups. Avoid crowds and gatherings. The risk of getting into contact with COVID-19 droplets is reduced by limiting close contact with people outside your immediate family. These precautions are especially important given the fact that many COVID-19 carriers are not aware that they are infected and are spreading it. Why is it important to move? Many people are not flexible about a moving date. It's essential that you have access to the necessary services to allow you to move if your lease is ending or you purchased or sold a house with a closing date. Despite the fact that cities and states have temporarily closed non-essential businesses, moving is still essential. There are moving companies in every state. You might consider waiting if you have the flexibility to move, especially if you are in a high-risk group. You have the option of moving with your own vehicle, or renting a truck. As long as you are able to lift all your belongings and not be forced to postpone, you might consider this an option. It is possible for non-essential business to be closed in different states, sometimes even by counties or cities. You should do your research to find out if the orders in your area are different. Moving companies are still available in some states that have lockdown orders. Are moving services still available? Yes. There have been no notable service interruptions among large moving companies. However, franchise owners may decide to close down a particular company. If you've already booked your move but have not heard from them, it is possible that they are still offering services. However, you should still call to confirm. It's difficult to predict what will or won't be available for you if you are worried about moving in a pandemic. Do your research and reach out to companies directly to find out what the company's current steps are. This is where the customer experience has been most important. There are frequent hand washings among movers, and there is no physical contact between clients and movers. What about storage services? Major storage companies still operate the same way as moving companies. You might expect to have less access hours and/or fewer customers being able to access your units at one time. Storage companies must also follow proper hygiene practices. This includes sanitizing access pads and ensuring that there is at least 6 feet between customers and employees. Can I still rent a moving truck? As they are essential for personal mobility and transportation, major rental truck companies remain in operation. Enterprise and U-Haul, among others, have their own procedures for physical distancing. You may need to make your reservation online, over the phone, or at the branch office if you don't want your pickup/drop-off location to be there. What should I do if COVID-19 is in effect? Sometimes, a move is inevitable. If you can be flexible with your move date, it is better to wait until the social distancing procedures have been lifted before you relocate. You can work with your moving company to find out what they do and what you should do to ensure the safest possible move. Safety and health are always top priorities. You should consider moving if you're in a high-risk group. This includes people who have pre-existing conditions such as diabetes or asthma, or anyone over 60. Is it necessary for someone to come into my home in order to provide a moving quote? No. No. Do you have a moving date? If you have an upcoming moving date, assume it is still being done unless your moving company has told you otherwise. It is still a good idea to call your moving company to confirm. To confirm the status of your move, get in touch with your provider as soon as possible and to find out the precautions they will take. Although the moving company has canceled, do you still need to move at a specific date? You can reach out to other companies for information about availability or rent a truck to do your own move. What is my moving company's COVID-19 policy? Visit the website of your moving company to see their COVID-19 policy. Or, contact them directly. Most essential businesses, such as moving companies, can set their own procedures for operating under the pandemic. However, you will most likely see protocols regarding physical distancing or sanitization. To discuss any questions or concerns regarding your moving company's COVID-19 policies, please contact your provider. What if I want to cancel my move? Contact your moving company directly if you have to cancel a move because of COVID-19. Non-binding moving contracts mean that you can cancel your move without any financial penalties for a certain period. To determine if your deposit was returned, you will need to review the contract. You should note that even though your deposit was not refundable, it is possible that your moving company will still return it due to COVID-19. What should I do if I don't feel well? Notifying your moving company is the first step in planning your move. Your moving company must be aware of the possible risk to their workers so they can adjust any sanitization or social distancing measures in place. We are committed to your safety and health, as well as that of your movers. Transparency is key to keeping everyone safe. In many cases, your movers will still work alongside you. You should let your movers know if there is a suspicion of illness in you or a family member, and also let them know if the exposure has caused you to become ill. They can take the same precautions to reduce the risk. Use gloves and masks while packing. You can also disinfect any items that will be handled by movers, either with sprays or standard antibacterial wipes. All packing should be done at least 24 hours before your movers arrive. Storage boxes should be kept in a locked room. Keep your mask and gloves on during the arrival of your movers. What if I move by myself? A DIY move is much the same as before COVID-19. However, you can have some friends over to help in exchange for pizza. You will need to make sure you have soap, hand sanitizer, and paper towels on hand at all times. Also, plan your arrival and departure. Talk to your landlord if you rent. They can help you drop off your keys safely and collect your security deposit. Then talk to your new landlord to discuss the steps for safe move-in. A plan of steps will help you keep your social distance during the DIY move. It will also answer any questions that you may have about it. What are moving companies doing differently? Companies moving take the coronavirus pandemic seriously. Companies across the country have established protocols to protect their employees as well as their customers. These protocols include: follow federal and local guidelines regarding social distancing, sanitization. To provide estimates, virtual surveys can be conducted instead of in-home survey. It is a good idea to regularly clean trucks and other equipment. Social distancing between customers and moving teams. Use gloves and masks. Keep your truck stocked up with hand sanitizer. These practices ensure that moving services are always available. For example, a virtual estimate will give you the same quote as when you hire movers but without having to actually have them enter your home. How to prepare for your move. It is important to plan your move. This goes double for those moving during the coronavirus. To ensure you have enough time to pack your belongings and be ready for your mover, you must stay one step ahead. These steps will help you prepare for your move within COVID-19. Get in touch with your movers. It is crucial to confirm your reservation and to discuss best practices for moving day. Many moving companies have many safeguards in place to protect their clients. It is important to communicate with them about what to expect. All of your supplies can be purchased in one place. It's important to have everything ready for the move in one visit to the grocery store. A packing calculator can help you estimate how many people and rooms you will need. If you are unsure, purchase extra. As clean as possible. When was the last time you turned on your bedside lamp or cleaned the outside of your crock pot? Make sure to clean your belongings by using this time to disinfect them. You can make your own with 1 teaspoon bleach and 1 gallon of water. Pack at least 24 hours in advance of the arrival of the movers. Coronavirus can survive for up to 24 hours on surfaces and cardboard boxes. Although your movers will wear gloves, it is important that you have your boxes ready for your movers to arrive. Important tips to move during the coronavirus pandemic. You are not the only one who isn't sure how to move during the coronavirus lockdown. This is a new territory, so it's important to keep up with the WHO and CDC recommendations. These are some tips to help you make your move as smooth as possible during the pandemic. If you have coronavirus symptoms, let your mover know immediately. Transparency is key to keeping everyone safe. In many cases, your movers will continue to work with you but will have additional protocols in place to protect their workers. You should let your movers know if there is a possibility of you contracting an illness or have received a diagnosis. Your movers will appreciate the hygiene products you provide. You can help your movers to follow proper hygiene practices by providing them with products they can use when they move your items to and fro the truck. This includes hand soap, paper towels, and soap by the sink. Your moving company should be notified if you are concerned about not having enough supplies. They will make sure that they have sufficient supplies for the move. Do not use recycled or free moving boxes. You can transmit the coronavirus to cardboard in as little as 24 hours. This is why you should not be grabbing free or recycled moving boxes from people who are trying to recycle them. You can use the boxes you have already in your home, but you will need extras. You should cancel your move if you are in a high-risk group. If you are over 60 or have pre-existing cardiovascular and respiratory conditions, it is a good idea to reconsider moving. It is not worth risking your health to move. If you are flexible about when or if your move takes place, you should push it back so you can relocate more safely. You should cancel your moving services as soon as possible. Your movers will appreciate it if you let them know as soon as possible that you are no longer requiring their services. You don't have to cancel your move, but you want to be able to find out what the process will be in case you need it. Plan your travel plans if you are moving internationally. You will need to book hotels or flights for your move. Book refundable reservations or only work with companies that offer cancellation free. To avoid paying more, ask about cancellation policies before booking. Smartly moving during a pandemic is possible by following all the rules of the game and applying them to your move. Moving requires that you observe social distancing and adhere to sanitation requirements. There is a silver lining to social distancing. You might find more time to organize your home before your move and get rid of things that you don't need or want. You should call the organization you want to donate items such as clothing, linens, and furniture before you move. It's not as simple as driving to the nearest donation center and dropping off your stuff. However, many people will be in great need. Be safe during your move. As new regulations and changes in the industry occur, we will update the site. Please check back often if you have any questions. That's all this time. Thanks for watching. To get a free moving quote from our awesome team, click the link in the description.